Congratulations, you've got the job. Maybe you've been out of work for a while, or maybe this is an exciting new opportunity, but actually landing a job and thinking, okay, you're about to start is a big moment, and I think it's a really important one, and it's one to get right. So here are 3 tips as you're contemplating starting your new job that can set you up in the optimum way to be really successful when you get there. The first one is to do everything that you can to think and to learn about the context for your new opportunity. Obviously, you're going there to do a particular role, but what's going on around your role? As much as you can find out, maybe from the people who've hired you or from the internet, from any sources that you've got, trying to figure out what's going on in the organisation as a whole or in the market, which leads to the need perhaps for your role. Other things that are going on that not necessarily closely connected, but could have a bearing on what it is you're there to do. And also, how did your job arise? Why did it come about? What's going on? What's the thinking behind it? Now, some of this might be very, very difficult to find out because you have maybe have limited sources of information, but do your best, and if nothing else, start to imagine, well, what might be the case? What might be going on around this role that it would be useful for me to have in mind? Don't wait until you get there to start finding that out or start thinking it through. Prepare and give yourself a bit of a chance to reflect on that. The second tip before you get to start your new job is to be very deliberate about your mindset, because you may have been out of work for a while, you may have been looking for, and you may be desperate to make a good impression. It's probably not a good position to start with, coming across potentially as desperate. Or you may have been told that your job is to go and fix all the problems and you're going to do it. And well, again, that could lead to an awful lot of problems. So think very deliberately about what sort of mindset you want to take to this new job. Maybe it's about being a learner. Maybe it's about that this is a fantastic learning opportunity for you. Maybe it's about that this is something really important for your long-term future. Because to think about, well, this is just a stepping stone and it'll do for now, or, well, I needed a job and this will pay the salary. Again, they're not really helpful attitudes to have, mindset to hold as you go to start. So put some thinking in before you actually get there. And the third tip for you is to be very deliberate about what impression you want to create when you get there, based on everything that you've thought about in terms of the context, the mindset that you think that will work, but also the job that you've got to go and do, and you yourself. What do you want people to be thinking about you when you get there, when you first meet them? What do you want to show up as, and what do you want them to see in you? Because in many jobs you get an opportunity to do that a little bit before you start, rather than just waiting for the induction day. So put some thought into now, very clearly, what sort of impression, what do you want to be seen as? How do you want them to think you are? How do you want them to think about the way you are, who you are, where you've come from? And if you start to think about that now, you'll be in a much better position for your starting day. So those are 3 tips. So think very carefully about the context, be very deliberate about the mindset you want to show up with, but also be very clear about what impression you do want to create with all of your new colleagues and stakeholders.